Purple Cow by Seth Godin. Now, why do you want to listen to this video, watch this video? Because if you have a business, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you are creating a product that will need to be marketed, you'll have to sell the product, you want to understand what makes a product great, what makes a product so irresistible and so easy to market. Why are some products, some services why do they stand out? What is the difference here? And the whole idea that Seth talks about is the idea of a purple cow. A purple cow, a product that is a purple cow compared to a product that is a white cow or a brown cow or a black cow. When you see a bunch of cows, you see a white or a black or a brown cow, it's no big deal. It's the same. You've seen those before, no big deal. But when you see a purple cow, now that's something you're going to remember for the rest of your life because you've never seen anything like this. You're going to tell people about it. You're going to talk to people. You're going to spread that idea. And what Seth is saying is that you need to be working on creating a product that is truly remarkable, that is truly a purple cow, rather than try to figure out how to make it a purple cow after the product has been created. So don't try to market after the product has been created. Try to market it in a way that stands out. Just create a standout product. The really important idea in creating a standout product, in creating a purple cow, is having the passion for a product. If you don't have the passion for that, if you don't have the passion for that business, it's going to be really tough to create anything remarkable. And Tom Peters said in one of his books, he said, the only products with a real future are the ones that are created by passionate people. And we've seen that again and again. For example, Steve Jobs and Apple and his iPhone and MacBooks and iPads and all that stuff, they were an obsession. They were a passion of his. And people would tune in to watch the 2-hour keynotes, which were almost as commercials every time. That was his passion, and they loved it. They voted with their wallets for it, and now Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world. And not only do you want to have a passion yourself, but you also want to connect with other people who are going to spread your word, who are passionate about the same things. So find that set of people who are going to be passionate about it. Another way to look at it is most of us are trying to, or most of the times companies are trying to create products that are for the mass appeal. But in Crossing the Chasm by Jeffrey Moore, he talks about the idea of the bell curve of adoption, where you want to go for the early adopters with this really extreme left, where there are the innovators and the early adopters. That's where your idea can really spread, can take hold. If you try to create a product for the market, the average market, you cannot do it because you do not. It's too generic. It cannot take hold. So don't cater to the mass market. That's average stuff for average people. Just go for the extreme left where there are early adopters and go after them. And the way to do it is to niche down your product, to figure out the market niche and then create the remarkable product. Don't go around create. So it's really important to understand this this step-by-step procedure. You don't just first create a remarkable product and then go around looking for a niche. First, you want to know what the niche is, and then create a remarkable product in that niche. And we should not be creating a product for everyone, because when you try to create a product for everyone, you are going to create a product for nobody. And even though you want to create a product for everyone, you want to break into the mass market, you want to get into the mainstream, the key is to start with a niche, to dominate the niche, to dominate the early adopters, and then go for the mass market. And the way to go about getting your differentiation in the niche is to find the group that's the most profitable, find the group that's the most passionate, find a way to reward these people, and don't cater to the masses. Because if you try to fit in, you're gonna fail. In a busy market like today, in a busy market where there's so many advertisements, so many people talking about the product, Not standing out is death for a new business, for a new venture. So how do you stand out? The way to stand out is to be an outlier, to be on the fringe, to be very exclusive or very cheap or very big or very small or very exclusive and niched out. And you have to go for the edge. You have to go for the edge of those adoptions. You don't want to be in the middle. And any compromise, anytime you compromise, it's about sanding down the rough edges that have the individuality in your product because you're trying to fit in. So don't try to fit in, stand out. That is really important. And take risks. It is actually much better. It's safer to take risks, to be risky in order to do truly amazing things rather than try to be boring and fit in, because boring will always lead to failure. And we face two choices. We have this choice. We can become really uncriticized and safe and someone who nobody is going to complain about, or we can have a chance at greatness by standing out, by taking a stand and sticking to it. And maybe people will criticize. A lot of people will criticize. That's actually a good thing, because criticism does not lead to failure. We mistakenly believe that somehow criticism leads to failure. That's not the case. What leads to failure is just trying to fit in with everyone else. So in order to become great, we have to become remarkable, which is we have to avoid trying to fit in with everyone else. You don't want to try and catch up by being the same with everyone else. You can never do them. You have to beat them by being different, by being remarkable, by being on the edge, by never sanding down the rough edges, by being on the early adopters edge, and having the passion. And you don't know if your product is remarkable until the people tell you. So there you have it, Purple Cow by Seth Godin.